Brother gone, family shattered. Dad died rushing to the hospital, and Mom, unable to take the blow, broke down and left. Now, it's just silence. If those bastards destroyed everything, I'll become him to hunt them down. Haircut, glasses on. I'm no longer the thug Kong Hyuk. I am the avenging ghost, Kong Hu. Stepping into Taesan High, I was ready. Standing at the podium, their mockery stings like needles, but I keep my head down. I need to learn the rules before I break them. The big guy, Jong Koo, tries to be friendly, but I shut him down cold. My eyes lock on Go Taehoon in the back, arrogant, dangerous. He's a target I need to watch. Sure enough, Taehoon picks a fight. He chokes me from behind, sneering, asking if I remember the past. I grit my teeth and play the victim, while mentally planning his funeral. Flashback to a rainy night a year ago. The real Kong who coughs up blood on the ground. These animals beat him for the most pathetic reason: he wouldn't share test answers. The humiliation escalates. Threatening his parents, they force Hu to crawl between that senior's legs like a dog. To protect his family, he swallows this ultimate shame. Go Taehoon. That name was burned into my mind that night. The silence back then wasn't the end, it was the start of a nightmare. Now, I'm here to collect the blood debt. Back to reality, same garbage. Tripped, books scattered, forced to press my forehead to the floor in apology. These scumbags haven't changed a bit. Even with a boot crushing my head into the floor, I'm working. Through my glasses, I spot the incinerator area, smoke rising, no teachers. That's their nest. I get a new title, Cafeteria Shuttle. Here, slaves are categorized. There's even a Wi-Fi shuttle just for hotspots. It's a twisted, hierarchical society. The bell rings, and it's war. To get lunch for the bosses, another shuttle, and I sprint down the stairs like mad dogs. No lines here, you grab, or you get beaten. Haste makes waste. I crash, lunchbox explodes, soup everywhere. The other shuttle goes pale, and the crowd looks at me like I'm a corpse. You're done. That was Sunghan's lunch. Sunghan, the brute, arrives. Seeing my empty hands, he doesn't talk, he just swings. I fake the terror, trembling and apologizing, playing the loser role to perfection. The beating continues until he tosses his meal card at me, ordering me to run again like a dog. Nursing my wounds, I pick it up, acting submissive while hiding the murder in my eyes. The beating was worth it. I've mapped it out. Class 2 is controlled by these three, connected to the seniors. I've got the list. No one escapes. Co-ed school, but meeting girls like this is just bad luck. Kneeling in the hallway, watched by passing girls. This shame usually breaks a man, but I don't care. No lunch, and now I'm the ball boy. They warn me. This is just the start, better obey. Looks like they plan to torture me slowly. No peace even after school. Another shuttle tells me it's not just food. We have to grind their game levels and pay for gear ourselves. They aren't classmates. They're leeches. Suddenly, a girl tackles me with a hug, screaming Kong Hu. I freeze. Did my nerd brother have a girlfriend? Seo Yiran? To keep my cover, I have to play along, stiff and awkward. He plays along with the girl's invitation, but the moment he's home, the mask slips. Knife in hand, he coldly writes down the names of every target he plans to crush. Frustrated by lack of intel, Hyuk has no patience for the glasses guy's gaming nonsense. He snaps, delivering a ruthless low blow that instantly silences the chatter. Forced to apologize to a bully, Hyuk plays the victim, but his white-knuckled fist tells a different story. He suddenly shouts lunch shuttle, throwing the room into confused silence. Hyuk fights an internal battle. These punks are beneath him, but his body screams to fight back, his reflexes barely held in check. The punk asks for a fight, and he gets one instantly. No words, just a brutal slam that drives the guy into the floor before he can even blink. Forced to kneel and tie a bully's shoelaces, Hyuk swallows the ultimate humiliation. His jaw clenches tight, barely containing the explosive rage behind his disguise. The bell rings, and the torture resumes. Treating him like cattle, The bullies ordered Hyuk to his spot, laughing about how they need to train him harder. A text flashes on his screen. Run before 4th period if you want to live. Hyuk freezes, his eyes widening. The game just got a lot more dangerous. Meanwhile, in a gritty alley, Hyuk's old crew gathers. A motorcycle roars in, and the long-haired rider cuts to the chase. Where the hell is Hyuk hiding? No one has a clue where he is. They joke about him going straight, but the air grows heavy as they recall the legend. The kid who took down 30 thugs single-handedly. The crew gets to work. After some rough interrogation, the sharp-eyed one locks onto the target location, behind the incinerator. Got him. Behind the incinerator, the beating is brutal. The bully kicks the curled-up victim relentlessly, sneering, "Scream all you want. No teacher is coming to save a loser like you." The bully smirks, confident they're alone. But on the ground, the victim's expression shifts from pain to cold resolve. Nobody here? Good. Then I don't have to hold back. Watching the scum laugh in the cafeteria, Hyuk hits his limit. Screw the plan, screw the patience. It's time to make these bastards bleed. Under the cover of night, Hyuk unleashes the beast. He yanks the guy's head back, voice dripping with cold menace. "You want me to let go? Fine. That's just one less bone I have to break." A nervous wreck of a student corners Co Yiran in the hallway. Ignoring the rules, he desperately demands to know, "Just how close were you with Kong-hoo?" Darkness hides the violence, but the sound is clear. "You annoy me," Hyuk mutters, before his fist connects with a sickening crunch, sending blood spraying across the room. Hyuk locks the guy's wrist in a vice grip, staring him down like a predator. "1 minute," he warns coldly. "That's all it takes before you're crawling on the floor beneath me." Instead of fear, a twisted smile cracks across his face. It's not submission. It's a chilling, manic laugh that unsettles the air. The bully yanks his hair back, mocking him. "You think that 1 year of training is enough to beat me? You're delusional." Under the arrogant countdown, his trembling body snaps. He screams from the depths of his lungs, "Do you take me for a coward?" The response is a brutal barrage of fists. Heavy blows smash into his face one after another, a merciless, one-sided beatdown. He stumbles back up, ignoring the pain. His eyes burn with lethal intent as he glares back. "Did you just hit me?" But his body betrays his rage. His legs buckle and tremble uncontrollably. Panic sets in as he realizes he can't even stand. Vision blurs, footsteps stumble. Dizziness washes over him as reality fractures into confused memories. He's fading fast. Back at school, the contrast is sharp. One student looks exhausted and gloomy, while the other walks with a smirk of arrogant confidence. In the back alley, Co Yiran catches students smoking. She threatens to report them, and the boys, annoyed but intimidated, quickly scatter. With the boys gone, Yiran stays behind. She scans the shadowy area near the incinerator, eyes sharp and suspicious, searching for something. Silence hangs heavy, but her gut says otherwise. She creeps toward the abandoned storage shed at the end of the alley. She's right. Yiran tentatively says hello, but the boy standing in the shadows stares back with a bone-chillingly cold gaze. Yiran leaves, none the wiser. The moment she's gone, the boy's look turns sinister as he glances at the victim hidden on the floor. It's a torture chamber. Punches land with sickening thuds. The victim groans in agony, while the bully smokes, watching with a twisted grin. He tosses an item back to the bloodied victim. The victim curses him out, only to be met with a cold threat. "Do you want another round?" Intimidation turns lethal. The bully swings an axe, burying it inches from the victim's face. "Be my spy, or die." The choice is made. He crushes his cigarette, flashing a gang badge. The psychological trap is snapped shut. The victim is broken, cornered, and hopeless. Back at class, the glasses guy returns looking terrified. Hyuk, waiting for him, sees right through it, his face darkening with suppressed rage. Hyuk interrogates him on school turf. The incinerator is for second years. But for third years? The student points up to the rooftops. The rooftop is the seat of power. Trembling, he reveals the name, Do Young-hoon. Hyuk has found his next high-value target. He touches the blood-stained wall, calculating the odds. Eyes in every class, an army of 120. The scale of this trap is suffocating. The bespectacled student plays the victim card but issues a cold warning. I'm the loser, he sneers, guarding the secrets of the third year, 8th class. A notification lights up the room. The student freezes, sweat dripping, frantically hiding his phone. He stands on his crutch, eyes wide with sudden panic. The bully towers over his victim, spitting venomous threats. Record this and you're dead. He promises a suicide that will leave parents screaming. Pure psychological terror. Get up. A cold command followed by a brutal stomp. The victim kneels, head in hands, crushed beneath a heavy boot, utterly helpless against the violence. Doors locked, the classroom turns into a slaughterhouse. The bat swings wildly, impacts echoing in the hall. Students outside freeze, listening to the carnage within. Just as he tries to leave, a fist slams into the back of his head. Pain explodes. He clutches his skull, face twisted in agony, vision blurring. No mercy. Another crushing blow lands. Blood splatters as the victim slides down the wall, moaning, consciousness fading fast into the darkness. Hwang Sung-hwan pins his target like a predator, grinding his face into the floor. Blood flows while his accomplice watches, hands in pockets, cold and detached. While the victim gasps for air, Kang Hyuk plays dumb, asking what happened. The excuse? He snuck into the girls' class. A flimsy lie to justify the beating. A grim reminder, bullying often ends in obituaries. The boy begs on his knees, bloodied and broken, but his pleas fall on deaf ears. Despair sets in. Bullies yank his hair, mocking him with fake respect. Should I call you Hyung? Kang Hyuk grits his teeth, analyzing the situation, forcing himself to endure the humiliation. Kang Hyuk clenches his fist, ready to take them both. Suddenly, a teacher's shout cuts through the tension. The violence halts, barely contained by the adult's arrival. The victim shouts a name in defiance, only to be met with a chilling stare. Hwang smirks, reminding him that the disciplinary period is over. The gloves are off. As the others leave, Kang Hyuk stands before the trembling Jong-koo. Bloodied and terrified, Jong-koo looks up at the mention of his name, eyes filled with trauma. Kang Hyuk offers an out, go home. He takes the burden onto himself. Jong-koo obeys, dragging his feet, cursing his helpless reality as he walks away. Neon lights flicker. A biker blocks the path of a stressed student. Sunglasses, ponytail, and an attitude. He shouts Hwang Sung-hwan. A deliberate provocation. The biker flashes a photo, hunting for Kang-hoo. The student stares at the picture of the dead boy, confusion mixing with rising suspicion. Why look for a ghost? The biker leaves a cryptic warning. The student is left wondering what mess did Kang-hoo leave behind. Bystanders dismiss the drama, indifferent to the danger. High-rise gloom. A doorbell rings at 12:07. Cut to the ground, an abandoned bag and phone. The person is gone. The silence screams that something is terribly wrong. Curled up in a dark, cobweb corner, a figure sobs in despair, while eerie symbols on the wall seem to count down his doom. 6 months ago. The moment he admitted his parents were never home, the bully bared his fangs. The nightmare began right then. The phone buzzes with a demonic command, max out the game account by tomorrow, or you're dead. The pressure is suffocating. Back to the present. Kang Hyuk circles Ko Tae-hoon on a doré tentative pawn on his chessboard of revenge. He analyzes the web on the wall. Seo Yiran's help, Jong-koo in danger. Hyuk realizes these bastards run on a massive intelligence network. Hyuk frowns. Threats alone won't work. Meanwhile, students in class notice both the victim Jong-koo and his tormentor are missing. Disguised as his brother, Hyuk coldly ignores a greeting. Suddenly, a blood-curdling scream pierces the air, followed by the wail of police sirens. Cops! The class panics. Hyuk's heart sinks. Jong-koo is dead. Bystanders look shocked. They thought it was just normal bullying, not murder. In the office, a righteous teacher demands answers, but the principal shuts him down. No problem, kids here. Bury this story now. Watching the police from the window, Hyuk's eyes turn cold. He orders his ally, open the rooftop doors. It's time to move. The bully hides outside, chain smoking and sweating bullets. His hand shakes as he holds his phone. He knows he went too far. On the rooftop, the bully ring gathers. The leader orders a lockdown. Lay low for 3 weeks. No bullying. Hwang Sung-won is called out for bringing the heat. In their dark hideout, they plot their escape. Go to the funeral, fake tears, and the cops will just think you're a grieving friend. Act remorseful, and you'll just get probation. The leader speaks with chilling experience, having watched his brother dodge jail for vehicular manslaughter. The scum stand side by side, sneering. This country's laws are bullshit anyway. They have zero respect for human life. The culprit worries about facing the victim's dad. The leader grins maliciously. Idiot, his dad will actually thank you for helping out. Imagine the victim's dad thanking his son's killer. Isn't that entertaining? These demons are planning the sickest performance of all. Back in class, Glasses grabs Hyuk by the collar, roaring, "Follow me." Hyuk instantly puts on his terrified victim mask. Tension spikes in the hall. Other thugs want to jump in, but get held back. They're on strict probation right now. In the back alley, Hyuk lights a cigarette, eyes deep. The 3-week probation is just a system halt, the perfect window to strike. Hyuk lights a cigarette and coldly interrogates the beaten pawn. Who is Lee Taehyun? The thug looks confused, shocked that Hyuk doesn't know the chairman. The pawn spills the truth. The school was clean until Lee Taehyun returned with his crew, rebuilding the brutal royal bodyguard hierarchy from scratch. Hyuk frowns, realizing the school is Lee Taehyun's private kingdom. Worse, the scumbags plan to attend Jong-koo's funeral just to keep up appearances. Tensions explode among the thugs. One grabs another by the collar, but the long-haired guy in glasses just sneers, claiming he doesn't care who dies. Hyuk tracks down the scum still extorting money. Remembering how Jong-koo tried to protect them, Hyuk's killing intent explodes. "You're dead." Facing the threat, Hyuk just smiles contemptuously and takes a drag. The thug, enraged by the disrespect, screams and lunges at him. Hyuk dodges the attack and counters with a heavy blow to the face. He coldly lectures, "Fists aren't for waving around, they're for destroying targets." The fight is completely one-sided. While the thug rages impotently, Hyuk smokes and uses him as a punching bag, smashing his head into the wall. The bloody thug leans against the fence, questioning reality. Hyuk shows no mercy, delivering a crushing kick that leaves the guy screaming on his knees. This can't be happening. The thug breaks down. Hyuk towers over him, coldly crushing his last bit of hope with a final, brutal strike. Stepping over the thug's body, Hyuk disappears into the dark. The scene shifts to a somber memorial service, where the air is heavy with incense. Disguised as a model student, Hyuk kneels at the shrine. When Jong-koo's father asks about his son, Hyuk lies through the pain, unable to reveal the bloody truth. Seeing the heartbroken father, Hyuk offers some comfort. He had a good heart. The father tears up and grasps Hyuk's hand in gratitude. Back in the alley, the bully kneels like a dog. Faced with absolute violence, his mind snaps, and he lets out a suffocating wail. Hyuk delivers the final ultimatum: turn yourself in and confess, or I'll hunt you down. The bully, trembling with his phone, is terrified to the core. At the hideout, the allies comb through testimonies. Despite the silence, they find a lead: the person who sent the threatening text, Hwang Sung-won. The engine roars as Kyu-soon speeds through the night. He touches his headset, eyes sharp. "Young, I've got a lead on that Hwang Sung-won you're looking for." The voice on the phone makes excuses, but Kyu-soon is locked onto the target. Slamming on the brakes, he checks the location. "Cut the crap. I found him." Hyuk is about to ride off, when he's suddenly blocked. A stranger throws cash at him for a chat. Hyuk stares at the money, thinking these people are insane. Outside Taisen High, the disguised Kong who stands out like a sore thumb. The bandage guy watches from the back, sweating bullets, realizing that getting involved with this street thug means big trouble. Kong Hyuk screams at the top of his lungs to provoke them, but the glasses guy doesn't flinch. He just adjusts his frames, staring back with cold, calculated disdain. Kong Hyuk grabs the glasses guy by the shoulder, mocking his good student act. The guy stays ice cold, simply telling him to keep it down since they're in front of the school. Kong Hyuk suddenly questions his name, catching him off guard. The glasses guy tries to regain control by setting a time limit, but Kong Hyuk has already sensed the hesitation. In the woods, the conversation looks suspiciously civil. Watching from afar, the bandage guy is utterly confused, wondering why these enemies suddenly look like accomplices. The deal is struck. The glasses guy warns Kong Hyuk to act like strangers, but as he turns away, a smirk creeps onto his face. He's found a useful weapon. The scene shifts to pure dominance. Kong Hyuk pins a gray shirt guy down with his foot. The victim wants to report him, but paralyzed by fear, he can only watch as Kong Hyuk walks away. Out of the frying pan, into the fire. A smoking thug corners the injured guy. Instead of fearing the police, the thug invites himself along with a menacing glare. He pulls out a white flower, a tribute to the dead. But memories of the ignored tragedy twist his grief into rage. He throws the flower down and grinds it into the dirt with his heel. The humiliation is absolute. He forces the injured lackey to wipe up the crushed flower with his knee pads, spitting insults about the dead friend and shattering the boy's dignity. The verbal abuse cuts deep. The glasses guy looks at him like he's trash, leaving the victim wide-eyed in shock, his mental state fracturing under the cruelty. The bullying moves to the hallway. They bring up the incinerator and past humiliations to terrorize the victim. On the glasses guy's command, they drag him off for another round of torture. While tension suffocates the classroom, an engine roars on the streets. Kong Hyuk tears through traffic on his motorcycle, a black streak of vengeance racing toward the fight. Meanwhile, thugs gather outside a chicken shop. The long-haired guy asks about Dako's whereabouts, learning that he's busy hinting that a bigger storm is brewing. In a dim alley, two thugs smoke and lament their wasted lives. They completely underestimate their next targets, thinking they're just dealing with some harmless students. The complaining stops abruptly. Violence takes over. Without warning, a fist flies straight at the glasses guy's face. The cigarette is crushed, and the brawl begins. The glasses guy is stunned for a split second before rage takes over. He glares at his attacker, spitting curses, completely blindsided by the ambush. The tables turn instantly. The glasses guy might look bookish, but he fights dirty. He grabs the attacker by the collar, fist cocked, eyes screaming murder, "You're dead." It's not a fight, it's torture. The glasses guy twists fingers and joints with precision. The thug cries out in agony, bewildered by the overwhelming strength of a mere student. Violence spirals out of control. He chokes the guy against the wall before stomping him into the ground. Under the suffocating pressure, the victim can do nothing but groan in despair. Hyuk shows no mercy, stomping on the bully's foot and forcing him to his knees as screams pierce the alley. No words needed, just brutal impact. Hyuk unleashes a torrent of stomps, completely overwhelming his opponent. The bully, once arrogant, now kneels and trembles uncontrollably, his spirit completely broken by Hyuk's terrifying dominance. Hyuk stares coldly at the bloodied face, asking why he never fought back, triggering a desperate, angry outburst from the victim. Spotting an opening, the once bullied student's eyes flash with resolve as he launches a fierce counterkick. But the resistance is futile. Hyuk regains control instantly, his shoe hovering over the victim's head like a suffocating judgment. Hyuk stomps on the thug's head, eyes cold as ice. "Apologize to Jong-koo." The bully sobs, forcing out a humiliated apology to the dead. Having crushed them, Hyuk lays out his plan, He'll use these defeated thugs to weed out the school's 130 delinquents and expose the leaders. He puts it bluntly. You are my pawns. To stop the beatings, they must obey and take down the other dogs for him. Desperate to survive, the thug asks if beating the royal guards earns him a spot. Hyuk lights a cigarette and coolly accepts the deal. Scene shift. Hyuk throws down the evidence. Text messages threatening the victim are revealed, sending the bully into instant panic. The thug tries to fake remorse, claiming it was just a joke. Hyuk's rage ignites instantly. The hypocrisy mocks Jong-koo's memory. Hyuk drops the ultimate bomb. I'll request an autopsy. The threat of exposure and a ruined life completely shatters the bully's defense. An anti-violence banner hangs at school, but whispers fill the corners. Kong-hoo has changed, methodically dismantling his former bullies. The second-year bosses are restless, but the royal bodyguard rules bind and no one moves a finger without the president's approval. Since the official guards can't act, they hatch a plan to unleash the mad dog Ko Sung-chul, the first-year brawler outside the system. At the mention of Ko Sung-chul, manic laughter erupts. To them, this monster is more than enough to tear Kong-hoo apart. Meanwhile, an arrogant thug scolds his underlings, refusing to believe the once weak Kong-hoo poses any real threat. The long-haired thug grins menacingly, making a blood oath. Don't worry, I'll make him kneel and beg for forgiveness. The Saturday showdown is set. Finally, the name drops dash. Dako! The legendary monster expelled for taking down 30 guys alone. In a dim room, two goons scheme against Dako. Hearing the legend is broken, one guy smirks on the phone. Since it's just one guy now, sending two of us should be enough, right? Inside a chicken shop, the short-haired guy chats about jobs, but the ponytailed man is cold. He tells the boss, just the two of us will go. No need for more to handle him. Back at Taesan High, the bullies pick a fight location. The blue-shirt thug complains, the park again? We fought there last year. It's too far, let's go somewhere else. The leader pokes his goon's head, calling him an idiot. He reveals the cruel plan. That's where Kong-hoo was broken. The trauma will paralyze him. We use every advantage we have. The guy in the mesh mask grins ruthlessly. I plan to destroy him completely. He'll be so terrified he'll never look me in the eye again. That's the rule here. Students whisper about the Class 1 boss, Ko Sung-chul. Kong-hyuk listens with a frown. Rumor has it this guy isn't a royal bodyguard, but his strength is definitely on that level. Flashback to the April selection. A massive crowd gathers while the bosses smoke above, watching cold-eyed. The new royal bodyguard will be chosen from this brutal screening. Ko Sung-chul, in the red plaid shirt, roars with ambition. The order comes down. It's close quarters combat. Only the winner rises. The atmosphere ignites instantly. The fight erupts. Ko Sung-chul lunges like a mad dog, but the guy in black holds his ground. Fists fly and bodies clash as they fight desperately for the spot. Ko Sung-chul dominates, mounting his opponent and strangling him. The guy in black writhes on the ground, veins popping, face twisted in suffocating pain. After a brutal death match, Ko Sung-chul, who seemed to be winning, collapses. Covered in blood and gasping for air, he reluctantly admits, I lost. Park Han stumbles to his feet as the referee coldly announces, the 20th royal bodyguard is Park Han. Ko Sung-chul closes his eyes in pain. Despite his strength, he is now the loser. Chaos erupts. The fighter who clearly dominated screams at the departing backs. What does this mean? I won. You all saw it. He refuses to accept this rigged result. The puppet master gives his cold reason. Ko is too wild. Park Han is obedient. Back in the present, cold rain lashes against Ko's scarred face, reviving the memory of that humiliation. By the fence, an ally warns Ko, we're suspended. If the chairman finds out, we're dead. But Ko is consumed by hate. I'll do anything to take down Park Han. That spot was supposed to be mine. Cut to the door of Class 2-2. Thugs corner Kong-hyuk, disguised as Who, with a threatening tone, Let's chat. Since you agreed, you better keep your word. The thug presses on. Don't back out just because Ko has no title. Kang Hyuk agrees, but then the lock clicks. A girl with a sinister stare appears behind the door, making the air heavy with dread. Before Kang Hyuk can react, the girl shouts at him, "Hey! Kang Hu! Didn't I tell you to come to the club room? Why aren't you there?" Her sudden confrontation leaves him momentarily stunned. Kang Hyuk stammers an excuse, but the girl insists on walking him home. The thug steps in, face darkening. "Sorry, he's busy today." The tension between the three spikes instantly. The girl snaps, warning the thugs, "Don't you dare bully Kang Hu again." The thug plays innocent. To blend in, Kang Hyuk adjusts his glasses and agrees to meet tomorrow, a cold glint flashing behind his lenses. Students freeze in the hallway, sensing the shift. Someone shouts they're coming, and all eyes turn to the rainy third floor. Under the bridge, Kang Hyuk twirls his purple umbrella, laughing maniacally. They don't realize the Reaper is staring them right in the face. Kang Hyuk stands relaxed, tossing the first move to his opponent like a scrap of meat. "Go ahead. I'll let you start. It's pure humiliation. I can take 10 guys like you at once." The taunt punctures Ko Sung-chul's ego, sending him into a blind, trembling rage. Before the words fade, a high kick snaps into his face. Moving faster than sight, Kang Hyuk mocks him, "I'll be gentle." Ko tries to get serious, but Kang Hyuk's fist smashes into his nose instantly. No room to breathe, just overwhelming speed. Rain mixes with blood in a one-sided beating. KO's prideful ferocity is nothing but a joke against absolute power. Spectators watch in disbelief. Is this KO's unconventional fighting? To Kang Hyuk, it's just a mess of openings. KO's movements are too wide, all flash and zero substance. Kang Hyuk doesn't even need to focus to dodge these sloppy swings. "You dodging rat." Ko screams in impotent rage from the mud, pinned underfoot, still clueless about why he's losing. The answer is a heavy fist. The pavement cracks on impact as Kang Hyuk silences him with brute force. Kang Hyuk looks down coldly. "Let me show you the gap between us." Despair drowns Ko like the pouring rain. Grinding his face into the mud, Ko finally tastes suffocating fear. His earlier arrogance has completely evaporated. The brawl pauses, and Ko crawls away like a beaten dog. He sees he won fights before, so why was he rejected? The memory hits Lee Taehyun said the same thing years ago. Your moves are wasted motion. The humiliation snaps his sanity. If fists won't work, he'll trade lives. Ko pulls a knife, eyes burning with suicidal madness. I will end this. Seeing the glint of the blade, Kang Hyuk's gaze shifts. This isn't a brawl anymore. It's attempted murder. Ko lunges with a scream, aiming the blade for the kill. His only thought is to destroy the man standing before him. Kang Hyuk steps in, locking the knife hand. A sickening crack echoes through the rain as the bone snaps. Arm twisted and broken, Ko lets out a blood-curdling scream, writhing in agony. He is finished. Rain lashes down. Ko Sung-chul collapses in the mud, defeated. His ally screams in pure horror at the sight. Disbelief strikes. The top fighter fell in seconds. The survivor surrenders immediately, terrified. Enough. You won. Hyuk glares back, eyes cold as ice. The victory only makes his aura more menacing, leaving the survivor trembling. Rain washes over the groaning losers. The violence ends, and the scene shifts indoors. Hyuk picks up a pen, time to plan. Back at the hideout, Hyuk dissects the enemy hierarchy. He marks the boss, Lee Taehyun, as dangerous. He spots the weakness, 3 weeks probation. The gang can't fight back right now. It's the perfect time to strike. Plan set, attack immediately. Meanwhile, the gang gets suspicious. Their man Hwang hasn't reported in, and tension rises. It's weird. He didn't show up. The executives are on edge. They decide to investigate, sensing a hidden threat. At school, Detective Park confronts the principal. But the school's annoyed attitude screams cover-up. The detective is frustrated. The school plans to expel a scapegoat to save face. The corruption makes him sick. He's forced to pause the investigation until exams end. Meanwhile, news of Sung Chul's broken wrist explodes across the school. While the goons panic, Hyuk kicks the door open. He stands there like the Reaper, silencing the entire class 2-2 instantly. The once arrogant gang members look grim. The air is heavy with suffocation. A new, terrifying fear takes hold. In the hallway, thugs want to jump him, but are held back. Probation. They can only grit their teeth in fury. After school, an executive corners Hyuk. He angrily questions Hyuk's motives, accusing him of petty revenge. He points a finger, warning Hyuk, "Don't get cocky just because you beat Sung Chul. Cross the line and you're dead." Hyuk isn't fazed. As the guy turns to leave, Hyuk calls him back, his eyes showing zero respect. "Stop pretending, you trash." Hyuk drops the mask and declares war. "I'm going to tear your whole group apart."